Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Sayukta, and I'm a business analyst in miniOrange. Along with me, I have Nikita Rudrawal. She's the head of department of MFA in miniOrange.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Sayukta. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys today.
So today is all about uncovering how we can secure our Atlassian apps through multi-factor authentication. And before we embark on a point, I'm going to go through some housekeeping to ensure you that you can interact with me and Nikita smoothly throughout the webinar. Firstly, if you wish to ask any of the questions, any of the queries that you have, you can obviously type in the chat box. These questions are going to be private, so let it flow. And we'll be also be launching the polls throughout the webinar, and we invite you to participate by selecting your responses whenever they are going to appear on your screen. Today we have the agenda as we'll be covering why MFA is the need of the hour, our offerings along with the popular use cases and features, and there will be demos for data center and cloud MFA for Atlassian apps. Let me just start by giving you an introduction about our organization. miniOrange stands as a reputed partner and a provider of security solutions for various platforms within the industry. We provide secure and reliable identity access management solutions that can integrate seamlessly with the different frameworks that are there like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, Shopify, and of course Atlassian. Coming to Atlassian, we have more than 30 add-ons and integrations for Atlassian application. We are also known for our fast and responsive 24/7 support. And well, not to forget, we are definitely proud to be Atlassian's Gold Marketplace partners. This month, we were also featured in Atlassian Partner Spotlight. On your screen, you can see that there are customers who believe in us, and they have been using our add-ons since long. They include Starbucks, Disney, Mercedes, NASA, and Adidas, to name a few. Without much further ado, let's get straight into today's discussion. Okay, so do you see the number on your screen? These are the numbers of cyber attacks that occurred last year, 60 million, out of which 27 million crimes are password breaches and phishing. What could have been worse? Well, our former Cisco CEO once said that there are two types of companies, those who have been hacked and those who don't know that they have been hacked. Taking into the picture that we were just hit by a pandemic, cyber crimes have increased 600% in COVID-19. Password breaches, phishing, brute force actions are some of the types of cyber attacks that contribute to a major chunk of cyber crimes. In the initial shift to remote and distributed workforces, many companies were literally ill prepared. In the rush to become operational, organizations actually failed to consider the implications and the problems of remote workers on cybersecurity. The rise in the number of employees work from home attributed to the increase in the cybercrimes. Take for an example, user credentials for logging into an application while in the office may lack the robust security required for a remote workforce. Since many remote workers may be using some unsecured home or public networks, multi-factor authentication can definitely safeguard user credentials. It can actually minimize the opportunities for any hacker to gain unauthorized access through phishing or social engineering tactics. Let's just see what is multi-factor authentication. Before we start with what is MFA and how it can help you and everything, I would actually like you to participate in a poll that's going to appear on your screen by selecting the appropriate option. The question says that, do you use MFA in your organization? You have an option of yes and no, and the poll is going to be there for like 30 seconds. Please choose the best answer suitable to you. Okay, I see majority of you are not yet using multi-factor authentication in your organization. Let's just understand how it can actually help you to secure your Atlassian apps. One of the first steps of access control is the identification and authentication of users. Multi-factor authentication adds an additional layer of security to verify the identity of the users. There are three common factors used for authentication, one of which is something you know. That can be a password or a PIN, something that you have, such as a mobile phone or a hardware token, something that you are, such as a fingerprint or other biometric methods that are there. Whenever there is a hacker that is stealing your username or password, they can definitely gain unauthorized access to applications. With MFA, hackers need an additional factor to log into the system. For example, when users enter their username and passwords, a unique code is sent to the smartphone. That code must be entered into the system to get the access. Even if the hackers have stolen the username and password, they won't have access to the smartphone connected to the user account. And without access to the verification code, hackers cannot access the system. Adding this additional authentication factor, MFA, it can definitely strengthen the security of your apps. Coming to our solutions for all of the so far mentioned problems, it is definitely the multi-factor authentication. We offer MFA for server and data center and cloud. For server and data center, it's available for Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket, Bamboo, and Crowd. For cloud, we have a solution available for Jira, Confluence, and Bitbucket. Not to forget, we also have the highest installs of a Jira 2FA add-on on Atlassian Marketplace as compared to other 2FA add-ons. Nikita will now give you a walkthrough of our MFA add-on. Over to you, Nikita.
Thank you, Sanyukta. So hello everyone. So we have already learned about why MFA is needed, what MFA is, and about our offerings as well. Let's talk about all the popular enterprise use cases that we solve and the features that we provide in all these solutions. We will go through the data center and server application first, and then we will move on to the cloud solution. Okay, so these are the highlights of our 2FA products, and I feel proud to tell you guys that we are the only vendor in the market to provide these features. First is we support the highest number of authentication methods to verify your users. Mobile authenticator is the first one. This is the most commonly used 2FA method. Here, you need to install one authenticator application on your mobile phone, and you receive an OTP while logging into any application, for example, Jira. You can use authenticator application like Google Authenticator, Authy, Microsoft, etc. All of them are supported with our add-on. Then there is OTP or email, OTP or SMS, which are self-explanatory. Then there is hardware tokens. It is also known as security keys. Here, each user in your organization is given a dedicated USB hardware device, which they can use to log into the computer, network, or all the applications that are connected through this device. Then there are backup methods. Like backup methods like security questions and backup codes. As the name suggests, these methods are used as backup when your primary 2FA method is not working. For example, if you lose your phone, or if your phone is currently not accessible to you, then you won't be able to receive, you won't be able to receive the OTP, and hence you won't be able to log into the Jira application. In that kind of situation, you can just answer some security question, or you can enter a backup code to get the Jira access. The second highlight is we provide full control to the admins. Admins can choose which 2FA method they want to allow to the users. As I already mentioned, we support many 2FA methods. Admins have the freedom to choose which 2FA methods their users are going to use. Then admins can decide for which set of users 2FA should be enforced, and which set of users can log in directly without 2FA. They can enforce 2FA based on groups as well. I'll explain these features in detail in the demo, which I'll go afterwards. I have another port for you guys. MFA being an extra layer of security, it requires an extra step to be performed every time you log in. So do you think MFA might be cumbersome for people to use? If you feel so, please select yes or otherwise no. Okay, I see there are many people that have chosen MFA to be cumbersome. So allow me to introduce you to the solution that makes that provides top of the line security without compromising the usability of your end users. So these are the most popular features of our add-ons that enhances the security of your application, and they improve the usability of your end users as well. So the first one is we provide MFA for both Jira software and Jira services. These like there are two types of users in any organization. First one is employees or agents of the organization, and the second one is customers. The customers are the unlicensed users in Jira, and they usually access Jira Service Desk. We support 2FA for these customers as well. Then we have a feature called brute force protection. You must have heard about brute force attacks in general. Like in these kind of attack, the hackers usually use trial and error method to guess the username and password of a user and gain the unauthorized access. In case of 2FA, there are brute force 2FA attacks. If your Jira credentials are already compromised, the hacker tries all the combinations of the OTP code, which is generally 6-digit OTP. So they try all the combinations to guess the OTP, and then they gain unauthorized access. Here comes our brute force protection feature. Using that, you can restrict the number of invalid 2FA attempts that a user makes, which makes it impossible for the hackers to guess the OTP. Coming to the usability part, we have these two main features, IP whitelisting and remember my device, that improve the usability of end users. First one is IP whitelisting. Here you can whitelist a range of IPs where the 2FA will be skipped. For example, you can whitelist all the IPs inside your company's network. So now if a user will try to log in from their company's secure network, then the 2FA will get skipped. And if the same user tries to log in to Jira from their home, which is unsecure network, then the 2FA will be enforced for that user. Similarly, remember my device feature helps you mark some devices as your trusted devices. So from the next time, if same user tries to log into Jira from the same device, then 2FA will be skipped. So that users don't need to enter second factor again and again. Now let's take the demonstration of the 2FA plugin for the data center and server. Okay. Yeah, so this is the admin dashboard of our data center and server MFA plugin. So in the first section, you can see there is an option to enable 2FA for your Jira software and for your Jira service desk. If you scroll down, you can see all the MFA methods that we support in the DC app. So the admin who is currently logged in can also configure any of these methods for himself. If you scroll down further, you can see the section from where admin can choose which 2FA methods he wants to enable for his end users. In this first section, admins can choose the primary 2FA method for their users, and here they can choose the backup methods. For the demo purpose, I'm choosing mobile authenticator as the primary method, and I'm using backup code as my backup method. I'll just save the configurations. Moving forward to user management part, as I mentioned in the presentation, we give full control to the admins. On this page, admin can see all the users that are present in the Jira right now. And here they can perform actions like enable 2FA, disable 2FA, or reset 2FA for some users. Admins can enable, disable, or reset 2FA individually for those users, or they can use these filters to enable 2FA for multiple users and for all users. Similarly, for disabling and reset. There is one more feature that we provide. The admins can enable 2FA based on groups as well. So here in this case, if an admin enables 2FA for Jira software user, then 2FA will get enabled for all the users that are present in Jira software group. For now, I'm going to enable 2FA for the user Sanket. And let's check what's the end user behavior for the user Sanket. So after the 2FA is enabled for a user, whenever that user tries to log in for the first time, they will see this screen. This is just a welcome prompt for the user, and here like it is explained to users that a 2FA or additional layer of security is added, and they will have to configure the second factor. Let's just configure the second factor. Yeah, so this is the configuration screen for the mobile authenticator method, which is the primary method that we have selected for the demo. From here, if the user clicks here, he can see all the compatible authenticator applications that they can use on their phone. So for example, Google Authenticator, Authy Authenticator, Duo, Microsoft, etc. These are just some examples which the users can use, but like this 2FA method works with all the authenticator applications. So here is the QR code. You need to scan this QR code using the authenticator application. I'm just scanning the QR code with my Google Authenticator app, and I have just received an OTP on the Google Authenticator app. I'll enter the OTP. Yeah. So the configuration for Google Authenticator was successful, and now I'm seeing the configure backup ports tab. Because I have chosen backup ports as my backup method. Here I'll just download the codes and save it in a secure location, and I'll just continue. So the 2FA configuration part for the user Sanket is complete. So whenever the user will try to log in from the next time, he will just have to enter one OTP, and he will be good to go. Let's just try again. Yeah. So on the second login, Sanket will have to enter OTP. I'll just So if the mobile phone is not accessible, as I mentioned previously, he can log in with other methods, which was backup codes in our case. So I'll just enter the OTP. Yeah, as you can see, Sanket was successfully logged in to the Jira. So this will be the end user behavior for all the upcoming logins. They have to configure the 2FA just once, and in all further 2FA on all further logins, they'll just have to enter the OTP. Apart from that, we also support 2FA on the customer portal as well. Let's just open one customer portal and try to log in to the customer portal using a customer's account. I'll just open one another private window. Okay. So in the 2FA plugin, there is a customer name John. I'll just enable 2FA for that customer, and we can see the login flow for John. So John will see the same welcome prompt. Then on clicking configure, like he'll have to enter the OTP. I'll just scan the QR code and enter the OTP. Same. I'll download the backup codes, which I can use in case of emergency, and continue. Yeah, so I was successfully logged into a customer portal as well using 2FA. From the next time, John will be asked to enter just the OTP. So this was all about the demo for the MFA application. We just saw end user behavior for some users on Jira software and Jira services. Like we have uh, multiple advanced features as well, which I talked about earlier, like IP whitelisting and brute force protections, remember me, and there is an audit log feature as well. You can try that out when you get a chance to evaluate that plugin. Let's just go ahead with the further presentation. Like we saw the demo for data center applications. Let's just go to the cloud. So to enable MFA on Atlassian Cloud, you will need one module called Atlassian Access. It is a separate module that Atlassian has created to provide functionalities like single sign-on, two-factor authentication, user management for all the cloud applications. It supports two basic 2FA methods that we already talked about. It supports methods like mobile authenticator and backup codes. So here you might be wondering, where does miniOrange comes into picture? So if these 2FA methods, mobile authenticator and backup codes, if these are sufficient for your organization, then you can directly use Atlassian Access in the Atlassian Cloud. But as I mentioned, Atlassian Access supports only two authentication methods. What if you are already using some other 2FA method in your organization, like OTP or email, and you want to enable the same method for Atlassian Cloud app as well? Then you can use miniOrange solution, where almost all the 2FA methods are supported. Apart from miniOrange, miniOrange also overcomes one major drawback present in Atlassian Access. Atlassian Access supports SSO and 2FA both, but you cannot enable SSO and 2FA at the same time for users. So this adds a compulsion on your identity provider, where your all users are stored, to provide inbuilt support for two-factor authentication. But even many popular identity providers like ADFS, Keycloak, Auth, Shibboleth, they don't support 2FA. So what should be done when it comes to providing an extra layer of security for these identity providers? Here comes the miniOrange solution. So to sum up, there are three major use cases where miniOrange Cloud 2FA solution will be used. First is when your users are stored in Jira itself and you want to use any advanced 2FA methods, then that you're using already in your organization, then you can use miniOrange. The second one is your users are stored on some IDP and your IDP does not support the 2FA method that you want, then you can use miniOrange. And the third and the most important use case is your IDP does not support 2FA at all. For example, ADFS, Keycloak, Shibboleth, etc. In this case, miniOrange solution is the must. Let's discuss how the miniOrange 2FA solution works for Atlassian Cloud. So there are three entities in this solution. First one is Atlassian Cloud, where all the Atlassian Cloud applications are there, and on top of that, there is Atlassian Access. Then there is your identity provider, for where all your user credentials are stored and from where all your users are managed. The third one is miniOrange Identity Brokering Solution. The miniOrange Broker Solution, it sits in between these two entities and allows you to perform SSO and 2FA at the same time for same user. So let's see how the user will be authenticated and how the second factor will be verified in this flow. Suppose there is a user named Sanket. he is trying to access his Jira tickets, and as the Sanket is not logged into Jira right now, he needs to be authenticated. So for that, he will be redirected to his IDP via access via miniOrange. So on the IDP side, he will have to enter his username password, and then the IDP will validate the username password, and only after the successful authentication, IDP will redirect that Sanket to miniOrange brokering solution back. Here comes the main part. miniOrange broker solution will invoke the second factor authentication, and now here Sanket will have to enter the OTP he has received on his phone, or else he have to enter he have to answer the security questions, any 2FA method that he has configured. After the 2FA verification, miniOrange, only after the 2FA verification, miniOrange will allow Sanket to log in to Atlassian Cloud. So he will redirect the user to Atlassian Cloud, and Atlassian Access will create a session for Sanket, and then he can see all the tickets. All the tickets. Yeah. So this was about the flow of this solution. We will now we will see the demo for this solution. As I mentioned earlier, there will be 3 identities in this solution. The first one is Atlassian Access. So this is the admin dashboard of the Atlassian Access. The second one is miniOrange brokering solution. Here I have connected Atlassian Access, and I have connected Keycloak as well. The third one is Keycloak. The Keycloak, I'm taking Keycloak as an example where Sanket's entities are stored. So in the miniOrange dashboard, I have connected Atlassian Cloud as Atlassian Cloud via Atlassian Access. Then I have configured Keycloak as an identity provider. After that, I have also configured 2FA for Sanket or for all the users. So here you can see all the supported 2FA MFA methods in the miniOrange brokering solution. The first one, like we talked about the most of these solutions, but I'll just give you time to check all the MFA methods. So it supports OTP or SMS, OTP or email. You can also configure it as OTP or SMS and email, so you'll receive OTP on both of these. Then it supports authenticator applications like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy, etc. Then we have authenticator application with miniOrange as well. So here you can configure push notification as well, where just user have to click on yes and he gets logged in. Then there is call verification, hardware tokens, and there is security questions as well. So for the demo purpose, I have configured Google Authenticator, and we will be checking the login flow for Sanket. So this is the login page for Atlassian. So here I'll just enter sanket@miniorange.com. As you can see, this is the login page for Keycloak. So Sanket has been redirected to Keycloak via miniOrange. Now, when I enter the credentials, Keycloak has successfully authenticated Sanket, and it has redirected Sanket back to miniOrange. Here, as I have already configured the Google Authenticator, I have received a OTP on my phone. I'll just enter that. As you can see, I have been logged in to Atlassian Access, to Atlassian Cloud. Yeah, using the Sanket @miniOrange. So after this, like Sanket can, like Atlassian Access will create the session for Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket, and all the cloud applications that are behind it, and Sanket can access all the applications. So this was about the MFA part. This was about the MFA part, but with miniOrange broker solution, the many new opportunities come. Many new opportunities are there. So here, one important feature is present, which is adaptive authentication. So, so in the adaptive authentication, or which is also known as risk-based authentication, here the broker evaluates every login request based on some predefined factors, which admins can decide to find out the risk associated with that request. Like factors which are considered are IP or geolocation of the user, the time at which the user is trying to log in, or the device from which the user is trying to access Atlassian or any application. So, and based on these factors, if a the broker can be customized to either accept, reject, or challenge that request. In the challenge, the user will be challenged with one more authentication method. So if the broker finds that request risky, so this secures your application, and based on the risk, multiple layers of security are added at the real time for every user request. So that's about the demo for Cloud MFA. Cloud MFA. Hope you guys understood. So that was the demo for Atlassian Cloud. Yeah. So over to you, Sayukta.
Thank you, Nikita. That was a wonderful demo. I hope everyone now understands why is it necessary to actually secure your Atlassian apps, and how to also use MFA to secure it. I would like to appreciate all of you for being with us throughout the webinar. As a token of appreciation, we're going to have 3 offers for you. You're eligible for all of these 3 offers: 20% discount on 2FA server and DC add-ons. You can also avail the free premium support if you get an annual subscription from us, and 3 months of free cloud add-ons as well. Having said that, I want to sincerely appreciate your attention today, and I hope you have understood our server and EC and cloud solution along with its use cases and features. Thank you so much for the interest that you have shown. Our team is always striving to make new apps and support new use cases. So please reach out to us if you have any questions or queries regarding all of this or any other plugins that you have in your mind for Atlassian. We would be happy to provide you with a solution. If you'd like more information about our plugins, you can definitely visit our website. That's miniOrange.com/Atlassian, or reach out to us at atlassiansupport@securify.com. We're now going to be answering questions in the Q&A section. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box. We'll be taking it as many questions as possible for us to take. If we're not able to take it, we're going to surely be getting back to you via email. Okay, I see we have one of the questions coming. It says, is it possible to configure different 2FA methods for different users? Nikita, I would like you to answer.
Yeah, Samyukta. So, yeah, it is definitely possible. Like, it is one of the unique features that we provide. Here, admins can enable multiple methods that they want their users to use, and users can choose whichever method they want to use. Like this is possible for both the solutions, for the on-premise solutions, that is server and DC, and for the cloud solution as well.
We have another question that says, is Atlassian Access required for your cloud 2FA solution?
Yes. So there are some limitations in APIs for the Atlassian Cloud. So creating a dedicated 2FA plugin is not possible. So everything has to go through Atlassian Cloud. So Atlassian Cloud is definitely needed for the for 2FA, because we are connecting miniOrange broker solution via Atlassian Access itself.
There's one more question that I can see that says, does SSO plus 2FA solution work on server and data center solution?
Yeah, I mentioned that for the cloud solution in the PPT, but yes, it is definitely possible for the on the server and DC add-on as well. You can use SSO plus 2FA for all three hosting types: server, DC, and cloud.
I've received a question from Aaron that says, is it possible to get a demo account to try it out?
Yes, this is definitely possible. You can get a demo account for both for the server and data center application. You can just directly evaluate these plugins from the Atlassian marketplace itself. And for the cloud solutions, you will need a miniOrange broker solution. So we are here to help you out with the setup, and you can always get a demo for these solutions, and will help you with the end-to-end POC on your end. And yes.
And I would just like to reiterate that even if you have any custom requirements for your plugin, we would provide you solution for that also. So you can come up to Nikita and anyone from our team, and you can tell us about your requirements, and we'll be happy to help you. I see there's a question that says, does your cloud solution work on Jira Service Desk Cloud for the customers?
2FA solution for cloud customers, services customers? Actually, no. So currently, Atlassian Access does not support the service desk, Jira Service Desk. And as I mentioned earlier, creating a separate application is not possible, and we need Atlassian Access to provide 2FA in cloud. So as of right now, there is no solution for this. Yeah.
Thank you, Nikita. If we have any more questions, we can take up. You can type in the chat box. We'll take it up, or you can come to us through email, and we'll get back to you on that. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's webinar. We're going to send you an email regarding the summary and everything, and you can also have the recording. We'll send you the link for the YouTube video, and you can check it out over there. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.